The staff at 24-hour emergency animal hospitals are obviously used to seeing injured pets around the clock, and they're always prepared for the worst. That goes for treating the occasional injured wild animal, too. But the team at one unnamed veterinary clinic was stunned when someone brought in a large bald eagle, and it prompted an Imgur user to document the encounter. Even the most experienced veterinarians weren't prepared for just how big or how injured this magnificent bird truly was. They named him Freedom and promptly got to work treating him, but based on his injuries, they had to ask, would Freedom survive? When Freedom, the bald eagle, was brought to one unnamed animal hospital, he had a broken wing, likely from being hit by a vehicle. The veterinary technicians were prepared for anything that came their way, but this large and majestic bird was, both literally and figuratively, a handful. He arrived in a box, and he was much larger than the veterinarians expected. Even though the poor bird was severely injured, he seemed to be relatively calm. Nonetheless, the hospital staff got to work, and they didn't want to take any chances. To demonstrate how large the bird really was, just compare his talons to this veterinarian's hand. Despite the bald eagle's injuries, his talons could have caused some serious damage. Everyone treating the bird knew they needed to take the utmost precaution when handling Freedom. The team tried to keep Freedom calm while doctors inspected his injuries. They weren't sure just how the eagle would behave with so many hands touching him, but they knew it was important to keep him as still and relaxed as possible. Luckily, Freedom didn't struggle as he was diagnosed with an open fracture. It was almost as if the bird knew that the people at the animal hospital didn't wish him any harm. It was amazing what could be communicated without even using words. Even though Freedom wasn't quite mobile yet, his wingspan was impressive. Can you imagine what it would be like to see a bird of prey like him soaring through the air? The doctors hoped that would be the case for Freedom soon enough. Perhaps even more admirable than his wingspan was Freedom's tremendous patience. You can see that with the expression on his face. Though his treatment wasn't quite complete, he was already on the mend, and it looked as if he was starting to feel better than when he arrived. Thankfully, the veterinarians were able to treat Freedom in no time. Afterward, one of the team members posted this update. Once we've stabilized an animal and checked them over, we call the Wildlife Rehab Center in our city, and they come and put up the animals. They provide long-term treatments and will attempt to rehab them into the wild again. A bad wing break like this open fracture is difficult to repair, the employee continued, and can sometimes result in a wing amputation, which prevents release. But a wild bird does not always do well in captivity, so quite often humane euthanasia is a common route. Thankfully, that didn't seem to be Freedom's fate. I'm personally crossing my fingers that they'll be able to help him and give him another few years of life, the employee concluded. Hopefully he stays away from vehicles in the future. Hopefully, Freedom will be able to heal completely at the rehab center and be released back into the wild. We have a feeling this is a night that the people at the animal hospital will not soon forget.